Why does it not always automatically start with audio?
I don't know. I think it's so that you don't, by mistake, end up connected with audio. But it's kind of silly. I gotta, I'm still running around doing a couple things. I'm gonna make you co-host so you can make Parker, or let Mark in if you see him. If you see something that says Mark's in the waiting room, you should be able to let him in.
Okay.
I'm making some dumplings tonight, so the duck is just about thawed. And then, oh boy. I feel like we're going to lose.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I haven't thought through it yet.
I haven't thought anymore, but I just remember the feeling of despair at the end of the last game.
I guess I should go get a beer.
I just had one because I had to talk Jean down from feeling really bad that she got the vaccine. There was predictably a lot of weird stuff with that from Dr. Hoffman and whatnot. Hey, Mark.
Oh, hold on a second.
Hey, guys. So I'm in a Motel 6, which has ripping Wi-Fi. So I'm going to stay on no video face and see if that helps push all the resources toward Zoom or the YouTube.
The Vidgus. Yeah, that's right. Are there any pictures that would be helpful?
I've got all the ones in photos. I think I'll be okay.
I might
have to ask you guys sometimes like what cities are, but it's really blurry now. But
yeah,
I'll make it work.
Sounds good. I did take a picture of the board right before we stopped, just in cases, but I don't know if that'll be helpful.
I have it all written down. Most of what I need is written down in my notes, honestly.
Okay, cool.
As long as you can hear me okay.
Yeah. I just got done drinking a beer with Jean, talking her down from feeling like a total bastard for getting the vaccine.
Wait, what? Can I take my headphones out and let Julie hear that, or is that great confidence?
No, I think that's fine. I'm sure she would tell you that.
Can you repeat what you just said?
I just had to talk Jean down from feeling like a jerk for getting the vaccine, Julie.
I can't respond because that would endanger my relationship with Jean.
Oh no.
That is all. Headphones coming back.
Wait, what? Now I'm confused. Because she was telling you to go get it, or telling you should like call and figure it out. Is that what we're talking about?
I think now I put that.
I'm sorry, I stirred shit up unnecessarily.
Oh no, I don't know any of the drama on that side.
I'm glad she got the vaccine. She was indoors in her house more than any other person I know for 10 months.
Yeah.
And not lunch if she wants to.
Hey, that's what I'm looking forward to.
we know, Parker.
But yeah, I got an appointment.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah, I feel like my dad should be any day now, but I haven't. I'm gonna try to chat with him tomorrow. But theoretically, Connecticut should start getting the old folks soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to drive all the way to Buffalo on January 30th.
Wow, really?
Which is somewhat insane. He has
Right.
to drive like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
What's a bummer about that is I'm assuming he's getting the Moderna or the Pfizer, so he has to prove it to
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those are the only two right now.
him.
So yeah, hopefully he can like get his second appointment at another New York State vaccine distribution site that isn't in Buffalo. But yeah,
That's crazy.
I told him to go check out Niagara Falls in the winter because it's pretty cool. Oh,
I hope I climbed that recently
really?
during a cold snap because it's well
Yeah.
Really? Wow, that's crazy.
Okay. Jordan, I was just about to get a beer.
All right, so we are back on the Colonel's turn.
We're on the Colonel.
Also, I'm gonna have to duck out and my laptop's getting dropped off.
Your new laptop.
My work laptop. That's why I left, because I did not handle the picking up the phone and holding Zoom and stuff properly.
You're good.
So
Sounds good. That's perfect. If it's in 15, I can go start the duck that I need to put in the oven. That's just putting it in the oven. So
Damn, that sounds delicious.
I'm making.
wait, I thought you said you were making dumplings, not dumplings.
They're They're duck and ginger dumplings.
You're making ducklings for dinner,
I guess so.
or duck rings.
Duck rings.
Ducklings.
Dumps, baby. So it's a Colonel. We are in epidemic risk territory.
We
We
just returned to it.
Yeah, we just returned to it. We drew 2 cards. It doesn't really mean anything about our chances of drawing, I guess. Our chances are, well, it does a little bit, but his special abilities, he's over here in Seoul. Seoul just got drawn. We know Bogota's coming next, but then it'll come with something else, so we don't know what that is. So we're about
that'll be a new city entirely that we've never seen before.
after Bogota, yeah. So it could be black. And he could draw a black player card, which would also infect black. Or you draw an epidemic.
And our plan is still for which person to cure red?
I mean, I don't think we should decide, I guess.
I guess it doesn't matter on this turn.
I mean, it could, because once he leaves, well, now
I mean, he could pass Osaka to the operations expert this turn.
he could,
I don't
but
know
then he couldn't do anything else, basically, and more or less nothing else. But you're right. I didn't think about this before, but I guess he has Atlanta, so he could like take care of Washington, and then we could actually have a shot at eradicating blue. Washington and Atlanta.
So we know that Bogota's next, but we don't know anything else for that.
Yes, that's right. Bogota is definitely coming up.
That's right.
And it seems silly to have the Colonel go do that, but he's the only one who can like get there quickly.
Well, he also like can't really do all that much else,
Right.
which is annoying.
He can't really do his power in black very much with his current hand.
Well, his
So,
power is to remove faded, so he can. We could just send him there and start removing faded stuff.
But how can he get anywhere?
How would he get there?
Oh,
That's the
like
problem.
this turn.
Is he like he can't get anywhere?
That's true. I mean, he could go. He could basically fly to Atlanta and do. Well, he could fly to Atlanta, and then he could use 2 turns to get to Delhi. Fly to Atlanta, fly to Delhi through the shuttle thing.
Yeah.
But that really only lets him take.
Washington and Atlanta.
I think I'd rather have him do fly to Atlanta, cure Atlanta, move to Washington, cure Washington, or take 1 off Seoul and then go to Atlanta, move to Washington, and cure it.
Down with that. We'll probably almost certainly go back to that.
Yeah, I mean, he'd almost definitely go through Atlanta, and like if shit's hitting the fan, like he'll be our option to eradicate if we can take it, and if we can't, then we might want to do something else. Or he could go take care of Mexico City, and then he can get straight to Baghdad. Like there are some options in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think just because of his ability to move right now, I think that's the only thing we can, even though, yeah, I mean, I think that's all we can do with him.
I think so too. I guess the other thing, I mean, he could go to Hong Kong and take one off and then get out of there because he can't stay there. That's annoying because it's not that helpful. He could like go to Hong Kong, take one, go to Taipei, and be hanging out, and be ready to pass off Osaka, or depending on what happens in the next round. But
I feel like I'm okay with him not doing that right now because the quarantine specialist is right there.
Right, that's true. Although we almost certainly need to send her away from there, like to help other places. But you're right.
But if like the quarantine marker comes off, she could put it back on, and then we don't have to worry about it until next.
That's a good point.
That's kind of
yeah. I see what you mean.
That's a good point.
Like if between now and his turn, like we might get the black card, for instance, and then the quarantine.
Right.
So,
yeah, we could draw that player card. That's true. So I think.
Yeah,
I like
and
taking.
I was with that operations expert will probably be an agent next turn, potentially, to get the Osaka card.
He could be, or sometime in the future. I feel like it's not really worth like bending over backwards to transfer a card until we know there's a cure on the other end.
I think that makes sense.
Because the operations expert could pick up 2 cards, and then we'd feel silly about it.
well, I mean, the
So
operations expert can take care of 2 triples right now at this turn, which seems like something useful.
yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
that's good.
So, like that seems
Yeah, I guess I think.
because we're gonna have an epidemic soon, and both of those could then get drawn and outbreak. So I think that seems like a
So that's a
reasonable thing
question.
for him to do.
That's a question. We could eradicate blue on our next turn,
Yeah, it's possible.
but we'd have to leave Soul alone, or we could take care of Soul and not eradicate blue.
He also could
I don't-
build or you have one in Mexico City.
Yeah, I feel like taking care. I think eradicating blue. I don't know. I feel like it's not as high priority to me as like the risk of getting another 3 outbroken cities from Seoul is pretty high.
But remember that
Or the
like
consequences, not the risk.
I think we definitely need to take a block off of Soul.
remember though that eradicating is a goal. So like we have to do that.
Yeah, but we're talking about the difference of 1 turn.
One
We
turn.
were eradicating the goal. I thought the objectives were cure 3 diseases and then 6 military bases.
Well, we have to do 3 of we have to cure 3 diseases, and then we get to pick 2 of 3 of have 7 quarantine markers on fated cities, which seems pretty possible. We have 4 right now.
That's true.
Have a military base in each of 6, or eradicate. So,
Eradicate 1 disease.
or eradicate 1 disease. So if we eradicate blue, we only have to do the cure plus 1 of those other 2.
Oh,
Well, what I was saying,
Sorry,
Dermot,
guys.
is that by us taking 1 off Soul, flying, curing Washington, the scientist is probably going to be the one that gets St. Petersburg. So by taking 1 off Soul, that only delays eradicating blue by 1 turn. We're
Unless,
still going to have to go all the way to the scientist again to finish it anyways.
well, what's the operations expert going to do? Because he could eradicate next turn.
Because he has the Washington card.
No, because he could fly to St. Petersburg. He could just go 1, 2, St. Petersburg gone. Colonel right now could Atlanta cure, Washington cure, and then it's done after next turn. So what?
Yeah, that might be worth it.
So
because-
what else would we do with the operations expert? Because there's other stuff for him to do.
We quarantine Moscow or Tehran. Yeah, it's already there.
You definitely do those
quarantine
two.
Moscow from where he is.
We'd probably quarantine Moscow, Tehran, and Baghdad because he can do his like quarantine
That's
adjacent
more
cities.
valuable than him chasing blue.
I think you're right. Yeah. I think that sounds good.
Well,
So that would mean we take one off Seoul. We're not going to do it by in the next turn, so might as well do a whole another round of the table. That's what I'm kind of thinking.
That's sort of the logic I think.
Okay. So we're basically take one off Seoul, shuttle flight or whatever, direct flight to Atlanta, move to Washington and cure it.
Yep.
That sound good,
Let's do it.
Parker?
yeah, no, I think that sounds good.
Sorry, complicated stuff there. One.
I can't. Well, it's good because I think we weren't thinking about that next turn. So
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. That's sweet. I like this. And we're done. Yeah.
Trojan, you're on my keyboard.
Done.
A lot less productive.
Oh, and we discard Atlanta. All right. Here goes
Here goes.
Epidemic and Santiago.
Come on.
Yikes. Okay.
I mean, didn't we kind of know that was coming?
No.
No, we had a 1 in 4 chance basically.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Which means
We're
we're
safe
gone
for a couple of polls.
We had been safe until the poll before last. Okay.
Hopefully, we draw Washington.
Yeah. Right.
Osaka.
We did not. Kolkata. Oh boy. That
Why was Bogota not drawn?
because
Kolkata is the epidemic one.
yeah. Yeah, Bogota was not drawn because it's
It will be right now.
yeah.
No, it won't.
No, it won't. It's on the top of the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in like serious territory over there.
Which one's Kolkata again?
Right there.
Yeah.
This could end us. But that's just kind of
There it is.
the rub, I think.
Did it? It has 3.
It has 3. It did not outbreak, but if it did, it would be well, it's just a potential for a double outbreak with Hong Kong. But Hong Kong currently is quarantined, so that's good.
I don't think it's too much worse than the other options. I mean,
Yeah, I guess we'll be able to go quarantine at this turn as long as we don't get hosed.
Yeah.
Oh, and we picked up Santiago. Sorry, I almost forgot. Oh, son of a bitch. Santiago lets us remove 1 disease cube from anywhere on the board.
oh damn it!
Oh, hell yeah.
That's
Well, it's
good.
still useless. It's still useful though.
Yeah,
It's
we
not a
we could
dated version.
we could use that right now to either do yeah, and I think it would be a good one because like the ops expert would have to go way out of his way to pick it up. Even though
Yeah, so why don't we use it? Is there anything that on the epidemic draw or on the infect draw we're about to get?
I mean it's either St. Petersburg or Mexico City
Mexico City.
would be the
I
ones.
would remove 1 from either of those, yeah.
And I guess
Oh yeah.
I guess St. Petersburg since we're about
St.
to
Petersburg. We're trying to eradicate blue, yeah.
although I mean I guess as
Neither
a
of them have any panic level.
counterpoint St. Petersburg is easier to take care of. We might actually be able to eradicate yellow if we cure it.
That's true.
I would say take one off Mexico City because it's very highly connected.
Yeah, and it's
If an
really
outbreak. It's going to go to LA, Chicago, Miami, Bogota, and
Right.
Yeah, 5 versus 3. That's a good point.
yeah, and we like don't give a shit
That makes
about
sense.
can someone what are the fated rules about if another disease cube ends up on a fated city?
I think it becomes a faded person.
That would be bad.
I will double check.
Does it?
I don't-
double check that much.
I don't think it does.
I don't think it does either.
I'll double check. I've got it open.
Thanks, Parker.
I'm looking at it too. It says place faded figures instead of CODA cubes. So it doesn't say like place them instead of any cube. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's just because if it spreads, it becomes a faded city. It's not.
For then on, yeah, but that game. So like if a Moscow outbroke right now, we would never really be able to get blue St. Petersburg. So, anyways, I think that sounds good. I think we should do what we were saying. Use Santiago now to remove one from Mexico City. Agreed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Done. And also the operations expert can't, well, we either go quarantine Calcutta or we go take care of St. Petersburg. We don't get to do both. That's kind of a pain. Okay, so Calcutta's in the mix. Everything's in the mix except for Bogota in terms of cards we've drawn before. And we pick 3.
Yep.
Everybody ready?
Let's do it.
Yep.
Montreal. That's good. Seoul. Go us. And Atlanta. Okay. That was a really good
That's
poll.
actually a really good draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah. That's really good. Montreal's kind of a bitch, but because of eradication.
Atlanta was the third.
But Atlanta, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of annoying, but it could have been worse.
Could have been much worse. Yeah. Could have been one of those 2 really, really bad ones. All right. So we're done. Operations experts up. So his deal is, since he's in a place with a military base, he can quarantine adjacent cities. Moscow's now back in the mix. It probably makes sense to quarantine it.
Definitely Moscow. And then
I mean, Kolkata would be
Baghdad.
really bad. I feel like we quarantine Moscow remotely, and then we walk to Delhi and quarantine Kolkata, and I guess we quarantine Baghdad or Tehran as well.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Is there anything he can do remotely? No, he can't.
Not really. I mean, he could.
I mean, I think that sounds pretty good to me.
He could.
I think.
The other thing he can do is he can fly from that military base that he's on to any other one, but I don't think that, or to anywhere ever. I don't think that
does he
makes
need
much
to-
sense.
Does he need to? He can't remotely quarantine Calcutta because he needs to be on a military base. Is that right?
He can only do, yeah, you're right. He has to go all the way there. Oh, so he has to end up there and get a scar. Shit.
Well, can't he fly there and then fly back somehow? Can he fly there from Tehran instead of going? Like, can he just discard a card?
Yeah, he could discard Washington, go directly there, and then step back to Delhi.
Yeah.
No, he can't fly directly. Oh no, he can, because he can go anywhere, even no
Yeah.
matter what his the city state is. So wow, that's really helpful right now.
Yeah, I thought there was something you could do.
So you're right. So I guess the question is, do we even quarantine? Is it worth quarantining Moscow? I guess so. I think so.
It's definitely worth quarantining Moscow because it's going to come up.
Yeah.
Baghdad could come up in the player cards, but that
Right.
would
It would make it harder to
Moscow,
move.
Moscow's already. Baghdad is not faded.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If it's not quarantined, then it could become faded. Whereas Tehran is already faded, so maybe it makes sense to do Baghdad.
But it doesn't really matter if the city's faded. There are no negative effects.
We don't know. I mean, something could become negative later.
That's true.
I don't know. There might be a benefit to not having it be faded.
Anyway, but still, I think so. So basically, we quarantine Moscow, fly to Kolkata with his special ability from a military base, and
Is
then
Moscow not currently quarantined?
no, yeah, it isn't. I just put that there. So
Okay.
first action, quarantine Moscow. We know it's coming up. Second action, discard Washington to fly to Kolkata. Third action, quarantine it. Fourth, walk to Delhi.
Okay, yeah, I think that's perfect. I was confused because Moscow had a thing.
Yeah, sorry. Does that sound good, Mark?
Mark is gone.
Oh shit. Well, that's almost definitely the right move, but where's your
I
thing?
don't know. Where's my thing?
Your what's it called?
I don't
Your
know what you're talking.
laptop.
I don't know. He said it would be 15 minutes, so I'm kind of assuming you'd be showing up either any second now. But no sign.
I
So
mean,
bad he has to come and drop it off on a Saturday. But whatever.
it's like your buddy, boss, coworker.
No, it's just some IT guy.
Mm.
But he's probably working from home, so it probably doesn't really matter too much. Maybe he's down here already.
Yeah. I feel like we need some really good player card pulls on these next two turns, or we're super fucked.
Yeah, like helpful ones.
Yeah, we
I have a
need.
feeling we're going to get a bunch of black ones because we haven't drawn like any of them.
Well, we've drawn 4 of them. I mean, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
There's only
6,
3,
7,
right?
8, 9, 10,
What
11.
we've drawn?
There's 11, and we've drawn 4.
What's
drawn-
the fourth?
We drew Delhi, Moscow, Chennai, and Mumbai.
Didn't we start with Delhi?
Yeah,
But then, so okay, right. I guess that is useful to know that it's not going to come.
I'm back.
He's back.
he's back.
Sorry, guys.
We can't see you, but
You're good. Did you? Where did you drop off? I didn't see Mark.
I dropped off right as we were talking about how it'd be sweet for the operations expert to quarantine Kolkata or deal with St. Petersburg. And it looks like you guys did what I was thinking, which is you should quarantine Kolkata and Moscow.
Yeah,
Yep.
and we
That's-
used we used his special ability to fly anywhere, including places that are fallen or whatever, to get there and then get off it. So he's not going to get a scar.
Terrific. And he's going to.
Oh no! No!
Man, this whole like 5G thing is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
I was downtown. I ran an errand and then like biked up to the Capitol just to see what was going on.
yeah,
There was one Trump flag, but and like 15 state patrollers, so it seemed about similar. Although it wasn't barricaded like it was for Black Lives Matter, but that's a different story.
right.
Yeah, and I like got on my phone. It was like fucking ridiculous how fast.
Should we just do that and move on to the next thing?
Yeah, we should definitely do that, and he's fine with that move. So because we need to infect stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, we have to draw cards too.
Yeah, draw cards first.
Those are safe though, but we did get a black, so he got Cairo and New York, which is bullshit cards. We need to do better. And
So,
Cairo
Does
gets a faded.
Cairo get a faded?
Yeah, yeah, and a sticker.
I can't remember the details of the new rule.
Yeah, yeah. It's anytime you place a faded. I don't think it really matters that much for black ones, honestly.
But I also was remembering that like for the black cards, and I think this is my guy. Starting in the beginning of the game, we could just have a thing start on Istanbul. You know what I mean?
We could have a thing
So-
start.
It's gonna be hard to not keep Baghdad in Istanbul from falling or becoming invaded, because
Right.
anytime we draw the Baghdad or Istanbul,
Yeah,
we want to
that's
start with them.
exactly what I
Because they
was
can-
saying.
yeah.
So I did our draw. Mark, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
He's
Sorry.
back.
I think hopefully the sound will be good.
Okay, cool. Tell Julie to stop streaming porn.
Julie's actually like not streaming porn right now, surprisingly.
Okay, I gotta go.
Okay. Sorry, Mark, but I'm gonna go do my duck thing and then I'll be right back.
Okay, few things, guys.
We drew cards. You can see he got a blue and a black is bullshit. And then they infected Mexico City, Essen, and Karachi. So Karachi's danger zone.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
I don't have to go yet.
What?
I think the guy's parked, but he's not coming up.
Well, I gotta go, so I'll be right back.
Go do your duck. Go do your duck.
Huzzah! I'm back. Mark, it looks like you're
here.
here. Okay, good.
Yep, we're good.
It's so pretty.
Oh, you got a brand new one?
Brand new 13-inch MacBook Pro.
Fuck.
It's not the new processor though.
Oh, it's a last year's model?
Probably.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. All right. What are we doing? Operations expert picked up cards.
What was infected? What did he pick up and what was infected? I think I missed that.
He picked up Cairo in New York. You were here for that. But that's what he picked up. So
He
we
infected. What?
we infected Cairo because of that thing. And then the other ones were Karachi. Oh, fucker. Cairo. That was the one missing, Cairo. The other ones were Karachi, which is danger.
Yeah. Is it now at 3?
It's at 3, and the quarantine came off, basically.
Okay.
Karachi, Mexico City, also at 3. And the other one, which was... Sorry, I X'd it off, so I have it here. Atlanta. Oh, sorry, Essen.
No.
Essen. Yeah.
And Karachi.
And we have 1.5 more fully safe draws, but that's it. And it's a quarantine specialist turn. So we forecast the top 2 cards of the infection deck. And they are, oh fuck, Moscow and Algiers. So we're protected from we can't do anything about those 2, besides we could get her to one of them, which is not a bad idea.
No, because then she'd be faded. She'd be scarred.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so we
would definitely need to think about both of them. Algiers especially.
Well, Moscow has
Yes.
a quarantine marker on it, right? So she could maybe just use your remote power on Algiers.
Well, she can't do either because they both have quarantine markers. So we're kind of good.
Yeah, I'm looking at Riyadh, my bad.
Well, the problem with both of them is that they're coming up. So
Right. Well,
They-
the scientist can do Moscow on the next turn.
Yeah, as I said, I guess if they both have quarantine markers, it's like that's bad, but at least there's quarantine markers. You know, like what are we gonna do anyway? You know?
Yeah.
right, but in Moscow, I think it's less important than Algiers because Algiers has 3.
Right.
So
Right.
if
so
she
her power, if anything, should be the remote on the garage.
Definitely remote on Karachi.
I mean, we have a 50% chance of being kind of fucked
Explain.
because there's 7 cards on top, and we're drawing 3, right?
So it could be we draw like St. Petersburg as
So
well.
she could pick up
Oh.
Algiers and Moscow, and then we could infect Algiers at the end of her turn.
But the
Oh. Yeah, but there's nothing we can do about that.
does Soul also have 3 on it? Just looking around the board here.
It does, but it's already been pulled. Everything
Oh,
else,
yes, it has. Sorry, I'm looking at I read my notes wrong. Right. Sorry.
yeah.
We could put her on Algiers, but we would have to count on the Colonel getting there and removing it all before her next turn,
Which he can't do.
which
Which you can.
he
He can't.
cannot do.
Yeah.
So that's not.
He can only remove 1.
So let's just work through priorities here. She's definitely using her remote power on Karachi. And then,
Well, but
but I guess we're more worried. I mean,
Well-
are we more worried about St. Petersburg or?
no, we're not because we are at equal. We could also pull Karachi via the player cards. At first, I was
Yeah.
thinking they were.
Yeah, I think it's Karachi.
Yeah, I agree.
And
And then
she's
the
all the way
chance
down
that
there.
St. Petersburg is the card that she pulls before the scientist's turn is 1 in 6, basically.
Yeah, so that kind of sucks. Like, is there any way for her to get there?
I guess what I mean is like, 1 in 6 is like, I feel like given how precarious our position is, like, we
Right.
might have to take that chance.
What's
but
her-
the scientist is next.
We'll definitely do
What's her
Karachi.
second? She has Buenos Aires and what?
She's got Buenos Aires,
Second,
Kinshasa, and Chicago,
Kinshasa. Okay.
and Hong Kong and Shanghai, and Sydney. So she could fly direct to Sydney, but that doesn't help us, I don't think. Hong Kong, she actually can fly direct out of Hong Kong, or charter a flight out of Hong Kong. So we could do both. We could do both.
We both what?
We could remote quarantine Karachi, move to Hong Kong, discard Hong Kong, although she's looking good for curing red, and fly directly to St. Petersburg and then quarantine it. That actually does feel pretty good, except that we lose that 1 red card.
It just means that we're committing to the operations expert here.
He does have a slight head up because we know we can get him Osaka
Yeah, we can get him 4.
easier than
I think I'm okay with that.
I think I'm okay with that too. And it seems like, I mean, one of our things is eradicating blue. And right now, the operations expert, like if we could just build military bases everywhere and he could like remotely quarantine all that shit, that would be super useful.
Yeah.
Like his next turn, just to throw this out there, is probably building a military base where he is and then remote quarantining everywhere.
Yeah.
Because he could quarantine Chennai, Mumbai, and Karachi remotely. I mean, who knows what'll be going on by then, but
Does that require a separate action for each one?
yes.
It's not like the roadblocks.
No, it's not like the roadblocks. I think that's definitely the move, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
I was also wondering if we should like roadblock Algiers or something.
Yeah, the colonel could do that.
Is he the only one that could do that, or could anyone do that?
The colonel doesn't have to discard a card. Wait, No. Anyone can do that. Sorry. Anyone can do it.
Doesn't a roadblock only work on one route?
You have to no. It works on all the routes, but you have to be in the city to do it.
Oh, I see.
So, like, for anyone but the kernel to do it, they have to. Well, and also you can do it on any of the routes, not all of them. So you could like leave your escape route and then get out of there.
Well, like I'm just thinking, like
Huh.
the quarantine specialist could fly to Algiers, build roadblocks, and then get out by flying, right? Because it's not panicking, right?
Well, she'd need to like fly to one of her yellow cards or something.
Or Sydney or Shanghai.
I don't think so because she's got a remote quarantine, move, fly, and then she gets her last action. So she couldn't get out.
Yeah, she wouldn't be able to get out.
So I think we're on a pretty good spot.
But I like, is no one else concerned that like we have 50% chance of Algiers outbreaking next turn?
We do not.
Karachi has already been drawn.
We do not have a 50% chance of it outbreaking.
It's not 50%. It just has to get drawn from the infection deck, or the player deck, which is much less.
Much less than 50%.
We know it's coming from the player deck.
No, we know it's coming from the infection deck.
Oh right, shit.
Okay, good. Now we're on the same page, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was. From
Yeah. That makes sense.
And then there was a 50% chance of it then outbreaking. Okay, I feel better now.
Okay. I see where your concern lied. Laid?
That makes sense.
I was like, why am I the only one who's worried about this?
Okay, so we do what we were saying, right? Karachi and then St. Petersburg.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I think I'm cool with that.
So I did just realize, I think that's definitely the move. Fly here, discard Hong Kong. I did just realize something we could do, which would be useful to do. Like, if we had extra actions, we can place roadblocks anywhere, and they still stop Fated from moving. So, like, a move could be like, go to Paris, roadblock this, go to Madrid, roadblock that, and then the Fated couldn't get out of Algiers. Like, they would still go to the other cities if it outbroke, but it wouldn't come. Like, we could have done it from Ho Chi Minh, for example. You know, if we had an extra turn, so you don't have to put it on everything. We could use it when we have extra moves to just like stop Fated from moving outward.
Sorry, start over.
Roadblocks, you can place them on as many of a route as you want, right? So, like, for example, in her next turn, she could roadblock between Moscow and St. Petersburg, and that would stop Moscow from getting to St. Petersburg and vice versa, but it wouldn't like really impede her travel. I've been thinking about it like, you go to a Fated city and you roadblock everything out of it, but you could also like go around the border and like roadblock every access point into it, and then Fated would just be like stuck in a place.
Yeah, and it would still
fuck you.
decrease your momentum, your movement, but less so.
Right. Also, we lost Mark again. But luckily, I was just talking some bullshit, so I'm going to draw her cards. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Fucking Kolkata. Jesus Christ. And Sao Paulo. Well, the Sao Paulo's good. And she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So discarding a card was also a good move. But Kolkata is danger.
It's now unquarantined.
Unquarantined and in our stack for infection. So we could get super fucked right now. We'll see. And then it's Ho Chi Minh. God damn it. Washington. That's a good one.
Ho Chi Minh, Washington.
And Kolkata. Fuck.
It's not like game ending.
It's not game ending, but it is an outbreak. and that goes away, and that goes away. It's not game ending. It's a
It's
setback.
very annoying.
It's a setback.
We have been treading water, if not slowly drowning.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so it's now the scientist.
I can't believe that happened. That was really unlucky. Wait. Fuck. I was wrong. Ugh, so hard to remember all these rules. We just have to like deal with it. But because we knew these two were coming out.
Okay, yeah.
I really need to put them back. That's what I need to do in the future. I need to put them back on top of the stack.
So what were the last two that aren't happening right now?
Kolkata and the other one.
And Ho Chi Minh.
Ho Chi Minh.
Okay.
So Ho Chi Minh came off. Algiers came off. Kolkata. So Kolkata's coming up. We know this now. There's nothing we can do. I'm sorry I keep fucking that up.
I mean, you could pick up the top. So it's Algiers, Washington, and Moscow, right?
No, it was Kolkata and Washington and Ho Chi Minh City. And Ho Chi Minh City.
No. What are the ones that are actually getting infected?
Moscow, Algiers, and Ho Chi Minh City.
Okay, not Washington. So what you could do is we could shuffle the top 4 cards. Because we know that those are there, and we just we'll like re-randomize it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I have that Kolkata, Washington, Hong Kong, and St. Petersburg are the 4 next to be drawn. So if you
that's a good idea.
Randomize the top 4, then we would be back to not knowing what's.
I think that's legit because we knew what those top 4 were all along.
Yeah.
Good idea. We can always do that if I fuck that up again. But from now on, I'll just put them back on the pile, and we'll know what's coming, which makes way more sense. Like I don't
just shuffle.
I don't need to leave them. Like when I take the 2 off, I don't need to leave them on the board. Yeah.
No, you don't need to leave.
I'll just put them back, and then when I draw them, I'll be like, "Oh right, we knew these."
Yeah.
Okay, so the actual ones remaining are
or flip them over and put them on top, but don't
whatever. Yeah.
show them to us.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we didn't get super fucked. I need to. I added one to Chennai. I need to take that off. I got to make sure I undo everything I did. Hong Kong didn't outbreak, or that didn't outbreak. We didn't outbreak that. That goes back on Delhi. And I think that's all we did. Mark is still gone.
Yeah, I'm just gonna text him and say like you could try calling it.
Yeah, we could. We don't need the video. We could just do like a 3-way call.
Well, can't like he just call in with his phone and not have video, but you and I can still have video?
Oh yeah. Oh, but I need to give him the right link for that. Hold on, I can do that. Invite. That's a good idea.
That might be more reliable.
Yeah.
And he can hopefully can still watch YouTube.
Yeah, that way he can do at least one.
I mean, we don't really need to see each other. It's nice, but it's not super required.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta go pee. I'll be right back. Hey. Did we get a mark?
I don't know. I don't really like. I haven't been able to see where a waiting room person comes in yet, so I don't know.
Yeah.
We need to think about end game strategy a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Because so that lighting fixture, I really like it, but the globes are more tinted than I thought they were going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're like annoyingly scratched. It's like a mirror finish, and they like came scratched from the factory. And like they look fine, but then when you turn the light on, all the scratches get like amplified.
Mm-hmm.
So I might try getting some daylight or like some 3000K bulbs to try them. It just feels like it might be very warm because of the tint. Anyways.
Mark's saying he's got a bail, but I don't think he does.
Well, if he can't even.
He said he's trying to figure out how to get the Wi-Fi working better.
I mean, he could definitely phone into the Zoom.
Yeah, he should be able to. Oh, but
and then hopefully.
Is he saying like that he doesn't think he's going to be able to Zoom YouTube? I mean, Julie's not going to be able to Zoom if he can't Zoom.
What is Julie doing?
Well, look at your text. Oh, that's annoying.
Oh, okay. So he's worried that if he can't Zoom, then.
Well, obviously she can't Zoom. I guess maybe he's thinking she could like Zoom and not, she could YouTube or, yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess we stop.
Maybe they only have one computer or something. I don't know. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to.
Yeah.
I was just trying to like think. I just got my other light fixture and I could probably get it maybe installed before it gets dark out, which might be nice.
Yeah, you could do that. That's fine. Okay.
Turns out, yeah, installing light fixtures when it's dark out is hard.
Yeah.
Scientist
is next, right?
Yeah, I was just thinking through that a little bit. I was trying to think of how we could do something productive because we're like pretty far from winning right now.
Yeah, we haven't pulled good cards, that's for sure. I mean,
and I was kind of I'm just going to at least share this with you so that you might remember it. But she could pretty easily end up on Bangkok.
By flying into where? Chennai?
Yeah, by flying to Chennai and then walking, right? Or she can't do that because there's no thing there. That's annoying.
She can end up there, but it would take
I thought they were
a bunch of
connected,
turns.
but they're not.
They're not.
Stupid because you can go all the way from Madrid to Sao Paulo, but you can't take a ferry from Chennai to Bangkok.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Although it's also good because it doesn't spread as quickly. So, you know.
Yeah, they probably thought it was too connected over there. I was just trying to think because then, like, maybe we could get all 5 cards to the operations expert, but I'm not sure if that is because we have to like get 5 cards to him and him on a research station to cure red, which is like a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. Although he's easy to get to a research station at least.
Yes. Yeah.
And I mean, well, yeah, I guess giving her Khartoum is good.
Does she have Santiago? Is that her other card?
It's Sao Paulo, Kinshasa, and Buenos Aires.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like what is most useful for her to do, and it might be just trying to like she could. She can't really get Moscow re-quarantined, which I guess isn't super required.
She could.
Yeah, but she couldn't do anything else.
Yeah. She could get Algiers re-quarantined, which I mean, we've only got her. No, we pulled quarantine. So she actually could epidemic, technically, which would be super shitty. It would be the first card of the pile, but it could happen.
She also could draw Algiers from the player deck.
Also true. So
So it's really annoying that all of her cards in her hand, except for all of them, she can't fly into. Right? Because you can't fly into any city that's fallen. She can fly to Chennai.
She can fly to Chennai or Mumbai or Khartoum. Not Moscow.
That's Khartoum. I thought it was Santiago. Sorry.
Yeah, that's Khartoum. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to imagine an end game here. Because like we've got operations expert close to curing red, but if he or the colonel doesn't pick up a red, and even if the colonel does pick up a red, it's really hard to get that done.
But also, like, how many more player cards are there?
Well, we've got that's 8, 16, 24. We're a little more than halfway through the game.
Okay, so we do have a lot of time left.
Yeah.
Like, a fair amount.
Yeah.
And the only things that could end the game are the player cards or us shitting the bed, right?
Yeah, outbreaking or... But with the way the faded are, we're not that far from outbreaking, but like getting shat on. But
oh no, I know. I just was.
Yeah.
I was wondering. It just seems like we have a lot of player cards, but
yeah,
there are a lot of them. So
yeah.
I feel like we should probably have her quarantine Algiers. That seems like such a waste.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost ready to like give up on our goal of eradicating.
But like, it's still easier to do than building research stations.
Military bases? Well, not really, because
But like, we have so many people right next to all the blue right now, and the operations expert would have to like fly around the world and build 1, 2.
So the operations
3.
expert could do that in 2 turns. He can build 2 military bases anywhere in the world in 2 turns, in 1 turn, because he can fly anywhere from a structure, and then he can build with no card, and then he can fly anywhere else and build with no card. So he can build 2 per turn, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and we have 3. So and you're right, we need 3. So we would need to get 1 in Europe, which is going to be not that easy actually, because neither of these guys have Europe cards. So he needs to do it basically.
Well,
we could build.
Scientist of Moscow.
Yeah, she could build one in Moscow. So that's a possibility. So she could do that, and he could build 2 in his turn, and we would be done if we managed to cure everything, and we eradicated a disease. Or we could give up on eradicating a disease, and we only need 3 more quarantine markers to have it to get that other objective, because it's on any faded city. It's not just on black cities.
So we could win by curing quarantine and military bases.
Curing quarantine and military bases, yeah, and give up on eradication. And that wouldn't be that hard. So, I mean, besides the curing's still the hardest thing.
Well, like the colonel could give us 4 in 1 turn if he's set up properly.
The operations expert. Yeah, you're right. The operations expert could get us to fulfill the quarantine objective this turn.
Well, the quarantine objective has to be in play when we finish everything else. So
no, it doesn't. It just means once you finish everything else, as soon as you can get 7, you're done.
Right,
it means both. We're agreeing.
We're not going to
We're agreeing.
We have to keep them quarantined. So.
We have to keep them quarantined, or once the other objectives are done, you just get to 7 and you're done. As soon as you get to 7, you're done. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard.
I feel like my vote would be for her to quarantine Algiers. And then end up in Istanbul. And then she could build.
Even though that could give her a scar. If Istanbul gets pulled in the next 8 cards.
Oh, well, yeah, she could end up in Paris then.
Yeah.
Istanbul would just leave her closer to.
And it would be better, but she could get faded.
Yeah, that's a worthwhile.
And it's like a 1 in 3 chance that in the next 8 cards we pull Istanbul, because we haven't pulled it yet. There are 24 cards left.
And we haven't pulled it from the infection deck either.
Yeah. I forgot I can actually still. Oh, you turned your video off.
Yeah, my phone. I don't understand why it's so bad.
You're good. Rachel says hello.
Hi.
You know Parker.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Zoom user.
I know Zoom user.
Who's Rachel?
Dana's cousin.
Right.
We didn't tell him that you're guys staying here.
We watched Armageddon together.
No, I remember Rachel.
Ooh.
I know a lot of Rachels.
Fair enough. I'm just appreciating the dirty reality of this game.
We got.
Yeah, this was the view you would have gotten, Dermot, if I had that video. So
Nice.
that's how I was sitting with my rubber ducky socks.
You guys haven't won yet?
We just got well, we actually lost Mark. Mark is at a motel in Jackson, and his Wi-Fi is not good enough. And he's
You say
trying
we
to.
lost Mark
We
to
lost
the
him.
pandemic.
You can actually do that. Well, you don't have to kick them out, but your characters can die.
Are these zombies?
Those are zombies.
Oof.
They're zombies, yes.
There's a lot of them.
Oof.
It's not looking good.
Oh man, Penny. Oh. Ugh. I'm gonna interrupt the game too much.
Well, we're kind of just
we're
futzing.
kind of need to stop. We were just discussing. So
So I gotta write down our notes though. You gotta write down your notes.
Gotta take notes on your board game.
Basically, quarantine Algiers is part of the play.
yeah, I think so because that's the only. It's productive because Algiers is kind of far away anyways, and it prevents us from spreading into Europe,
Yeah.
which I think is worthwhile. So, and she still would be close to maybe help eradicate flu on her next turn.
Yeah, she come back to Paris. And
So the nice thing is that St. Petersburg is infinitely quarantined. So
St. Petersburg, we're set, yeah, and that'll get pulled. Probably the 3 out of 4 chance it'll get pulled in this next round.
I mean, it'll definitely get pulled before we get back to the
True.
quarantine specials. So
Well, I guess that is a thing to think about. We haven't thought about that yet, but we do know what cards are coming. I don't think there's anything we can do because they're all pre-quarantined.
Washington isn't, but that's fine.
Yeah,
Hong
Washington's
Kong
fine.
is. I mean, they are, but all of them, it would be nice to deal with.
So I guess the other option is we try and eradicate blue on the next turn. Can we?
Well, like, everyone is so close that, like, I mean, the quarantine specialist could do St. Pete and Essen, and then the colonel could get Montreal and Atlanta.
He can't, though.
He can't, though.
He can get one. I feel like the colonel just gets Atlanta and then goes and helps over there this game.
I feel like we might want him to. Where can he fly from Atlanta?
To Delhi.
To Delhi?
So I feel like maybe he doesn't cure Atlanta and he goes all the way to Kolkata, takes one off, and comes back.
Well, he could charter out of Miami, but we might need him to have Miami
Ugh.
for curing yellow.
He's got Paris that's too far away.
Yeah. Because Hong Kong is now going to be further exposed once the quarantine comes off.
But like he can only get one away from Kolkata anyways with the charter flight. So I feel like he uses the research station.
Yeah, I think the quarantine specialist is going to have to remotely quarantine Hong Kong. Probably.
If we make it there, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the operations expert is going to have to do some serious quarantining. And then hopefully we can set him up to cure red in the next turn.
Depending on what gets pulled. I mean, we need some good pulls, yeah. All right, I think we call it. Okay. So I agree, though. I think we quarantine Algiers.
See if I can't do this light fixture before.
It's not worth it.
All these like cheap things, you can build them.
Right, I know.
I else do it.
I guess there's no way that we can get the quarantine specialist both of those cards, is there?
The yellows?
I mean, Mexico City is probably the easiest to get her.
Mexico City, Miami, we could tee up a master turn where the operations expert and the colonel are all.
The ops expert could. No, it's not that easy though, because he goes first. Operations expert goes first. He'd need to like hand off Mexico City. I mean, I'm still kind of liking the idea of like maybe the operations expert ends up on Mexico City, and we like somehow hope that the quarantine specialist can like pick it up, move there, pick it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, she can't. Maybe she starts in the same place. She picks it up, and then like goes and cures it. And we in the like eradicating yellow would be super super helpful for the future.
Yeah, I know. It would be awesome.
And if we can, we know that, well, soon there will be more, very soon. But like, there aren't yellow cards in the deck right now. It's hard. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right though. We are thinking we're going to lose. It might be worth spending a little time trying to eradicate yellow.
it's not like the best. We can only get one more disease with the like you only need 4 cards, but we can get one more, and all the other stuff too. No research station.
I mean, that's one less card is pretty huge.
That's huge, yeah. And no research station is pretty good, and the other one is not requiring an action. That's also pretty good because you just need to like hand it off and it's done. It means you potentially cure it like 3 or 4 turns early, which is huge. So cool. Okay.
How would she get to Mexico City? I guess she could fly to Chicago and walk.
Well, she would probably. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That's 2 moves. I was thinking she'd use the. Well, I was thinking she'd go through a military base because she can shuttle flight, but she'd have to. It would be 3 moves to get there. So she could get there and pick up the card, but that's it. Yeah, it's a kind of a crappy.
Oh, she would have another move to do something.
No.
Why can't she just discard
Oh, Chicago.
her Chicago card and
Yeah.
fly to Chicago and move there?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And then she'd use her remote quarantine on something.
Or something on Mexico City. But yeah.
Or remote quarantine Mexico City, because then she'd be sitting on her quarantine marker, but
Cool. Okay. Well, it's hard to think too far ahead.
yeah, totally.
But I think writing down on your little notes that maybe focus on eradicating yellow and definitely having the scientists take care of Algiers.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I was just thinking, like, once we get far along here, I think the roadblocks are going to be really useful for the reason I was saying. Not for like I'm sitting on the city and I'm going to roadblock everything. I just find it hard to imagine like not most of these fated cities don't end up falling. Completely falling.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely because it's permanent, right? So, if we had put a roadblock between Paris and Madrid and Algiers at the beginning of the game, we wouldn't have had to worry about it spreading the whole game.
But we would have to worry about Algiers outbreaking.
Right, but we wouldn't have. That's like
it
we
would
wouldn't have to worry about
it does
that happening.
It does move
We
the
would
counter.
have to pay attention. It would make it hard to move.
It does move the counter, though, if it spreads. It only doesn't move the counter if it's fully roadblocked.
Right.
I guess you could end up in a weird situation where you have like a bunch of cities grouped together that are already totally fallen and already totally outbroken, and they're just like gone. Like you just if they're roadblocked away, you know.
Yeah, and you just kind of they're fallen and they're cut off in the world, and they just kind of hang out there. But you have to like walk around them.
Right.
I definitely feel like adding one of our military bases. Oh, it's the Baghdad one. Anyways. Cool. Oh, I'm not being very productive tonight. That's okay.
I know. I already got drunk.
I know, me too. I'm like, oh man, now I'm like, the beer is just enough to make me tired.
Because
But
that is another thing we get to do at the end of the game anyways, is we could definitely make this permanent. Then we only need to add 3 military bases to get one of our goals.
yeah, and we have like a more robust flight network.
Yeah. Yeah. And we also, something happens at the end of this game. I bet you we get another character. I bet it becomes possible to play with like 4 military characters.
I mean, it already technically is because we still could make one better.
This is true.
But the medic becoming a veteran is less useful right now than it seemed at first.
Did we already do that?
No, but that's what we were thinking of doing.
Oh, right.
We'd be able to quarantine a roadblock, but we wouldn't be able to like cure anything.
Well, I don't know. He would have eradicated blue for us. Literally, like we had a time when we could have just walked through the cities and taken care of them, and we couldn't.
Oh, so we could. Well, wouldn't we want to just like use our 2 things for adding? If we eradicate yellow, wouldn't we want to just use both upgrades on yellow?
Yes, if we can manage to do that, definitely.
Yeah. And then if we have 2 diseases that have easy to eradicate, making the medic veteran seems pretty useful because he would kind of help with keeping.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
And he could move around. I don't know. Cool. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to be productive and then watch Expanse.
I'm gonna go play video games. Bye.
Bye.
I've given up on being productive.
I meant by being productive, I meant like cleaning up my mess from earlier and putting away my dishes in the dishwasher.
I solved my stupid paint issues, so our dining room's all back together. It looks good now.
Oh, nice. I've been playing Super Mario 64, which is a combination of really fun and really frustrating.
That's really funny.
Because like, I never actually had the game. I like rented an N64 and like played that game for like a weekend, a birthday present one year. Like that was my birthday present. Was like a 3-day rental of the N64 from Video Signals.
Yeah.
So I like played Super Mario 64 for the whole weekend. And it's like the game is great still, but like the controls are a little wonky and the camera is just like
Oh, the camera on that game is awful.
so frustrating.
Yeah.
Like just like terrible. But
I'm surprised they didn't emulate it to have like a better camera.
or at least like an option to have a better camera, like work in a third option to make a camera that's more modern.
Because that game was before you had 2-stick controllers.
Yeah, so you like you use the C buttons.
Right.
So like
Wait, but the Pro controller has 2 sticks, right? Yeah.
yeah, I mean all the Nintendos since games
Switch.
have 2 sticks.
Right.
But
But that's the big issue is that you don't have 2 sticks. You can't control the camera and move without being like on a literally like a button system.
what do you mean?
Because like the camera is on the C buttons, right? Does it give
Yeah.
you does it put the camera on the right stick for the Switch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the C buttons are now the right.
Mm.
Like the C buttons were never used. They were used for the camera in the old game.
Right.
They're like the equivalent of the right stick.
Right. But they used to, but now they're just the right stick. Okay, yeah.
Right. Yeah. But see, like you could have had a better camera in the original if they just used the C buttons like I did in GoldenEye and used them like a right stick.
I guess I don't remember the control speed. Yeah.
Like I strafed in GoldenEye using those C buttons,
Right.
which made me super effective at going around corners and shooting people before they could react. So, oh man, I wish that if they come out with GoldenEye and Earthbound for Switch, I'm going to be like, that would be so great.
By then, hopefully, you'll have a PS4.
Yeah, that might happen. We'll see how long this pandemic lasts.
Oh no, I'm talking about because I'll get a PS5.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's true too. But I also was like, man, if I'm going to keep playing video games, PS5 sounds pretty nice.
That's true. Although honestly, if I were you, I would definitely take the PS4 and
Oh, I'm
Like-
definitely doing that. That was part of the
yeah.
forward thought process for me lending you my Switch.
Oh, I know. We know this.
Cool. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, man. Good talking to you. Bye.
Bye.